Hey there, gamers. Welcome back to Crypticgamin. I hope you guys been having a wonderful week. So I want to show you a fun little build I've been working with here and also give you some tips on where to get you some of those upgrade parts and Ascension modules too. So first and foremost, if you've been upgrading a lot of stuff, you're probably needing Ascension modules or even those upgrade parts. So I'm going to show you how to craft some of those real quick. And I'm also going to show you an issue that I'm having. Maybe you can explain it to me. When it comes to the Ascension modules, they're pretty simple. It's basic materials. You'll have like your fine linen, bronze ingots, things like that. And you can get some of these things. You can get some of these upgrade parts here like this as well. Use rocket planks. Now they have one that says it requires mopine planks. Yeah, here it is, the mopane planks. Mopane's no longer in the game. So not really sure what they're wanting you to do with that. But like I said, you can still build them here using fine linen, bronze ingots, and things like that. So this is what I've been doing. Just come in here and whatever you want to do, maximum or whatever, and just keep these things producing in there. And they also have the Ascension modules in here, guys, that you can do that with as well. So then, of course, let's get this off here. So here's your Ascension modules. There's three different styles that you can do using different types of materials. Or actually, looks like there may be four here. So sheet glass, plate glass. I may do some of those uh, in the future if I need to. Okay, now on to the ship build here. So I am using the Sloop of War as the frame for the boat. And go ahead and get that upgraded all the way up, guys. All 7 of your upgrades on this thing. And then we are going to check out our weapon system here. So on the fore and the aft, the front and the back of the boat, I have these blight bringers, and I went ahead and rolled these up to have. Well, they naturally have contagion. They have the arming, increasing the damage torpedoes by 150% when target is beyond 85 meters. They do a really well job of hitting up front there, and of course off the back. Flooding 3, Toxic 3, went ahead and added Incendiary, Lethal, and Amplified Flooding to those. And then, of course, on the broadsides, we went with the Drowned one. This is that new long gun that you could get over there with the Reaper mission, guys. And I've not been a real big fan of long guns, typically because they're only top deck weapons. But these actually do a really good job here. So, Flooding 2, Piercing 3, plus this Perforator hitting a weak point deals 150% of flooding damage as an extra burst of severe damage. Doesn't really do much against most enemies. I mean, most of these enemies and stuff, they're not really, the severe damage doesn't really affect them much. But it does do a pretty good job taking them down. So because I've got this on the Sloop of War, I would have put Noxious and Amplified Toxic on these weapons as well. Just to add to the allure of it. And then on the center here, we're using our auxiliary. I'm still working on getting this one upgraded. As far as, I think I've got a shock and a couple sieges. I want to get these rolled in to God rolls on these things. But I'm waiting on my upgrade parts. So that's where I'm currently at. And I'm going to show you another great farming area where we test this ship out. When it comes to the armor, it's really your choice. I'm using Ouroboros. I went ahead and rolled this up to where we have stout and increasing the whole health by 5,500, and then it restores the whole health 175 per second. So there's 2 perks of that one. So we're getting I will say we're getting about 350. That's not bad, I guess. So heals per second plus the natural ability of this thing to heal your was it 100 severe damage per second as well. So, I mean, it really does a good job of that. As far as the brace damage converting to whole health, I've never noticed that it does it, but it says 15%. That could be a 1.5, but really 15% really isn't much. 15% of what you brace through. I mean, most of the time, unless you're catching severe mortar fire, you're not really going to notice that 15% of what, 3,000. It's just not really that big of a deal. So I don't know. I won't say that perk doesn't work, but I don't really notice it on there. But the stout perk and these 2 maintenance perks, I really do enjoy those. Now, when it comes to furniture, here's what I'm running. I know there's more options, and just looking at it, trying to keep it a toxic thing that we got here. Got that stink pot station on there. it basically hits with a toxic weapon your target 250 meters. It deals 10% more damage. So, if they're outside 250 meters, if they're bracing. Now, a lot of the larger ships are bracing, things like Commander Acti and things like that. They pay, I think, 350 pieces of aid or something like that now. So when they get where they start to spawn in quite a bit over there when we're running Wolvenhall, which is what I'm running right now because I gotta get those spare parts, man. Uh, Pretty good stuff here. It adds, to that the amplified poison stats. Then, of course, the breach lock furnace increases secondary damage dealt by 20%. The closer the target is, reduced 2%, 50-meter to the target. Increasing charge rate of shell shock. Effect on enemy ships by 5%. Plaguebringer's Ward reduces the reload time of toxic weapons by 7%. Increases the damage by 4. And anything that you put that poison effect on is considered a poison weapon at that time when you roll that on there. So it's adding that to those long guns. They fire pretty quick. I mean, you can't fire them in unison, but just as fast as you can fire, you got maybe a 1 second delay before you're ready to go again because you got 5 top deck weapons. It's pretty sweet. So I went ahead and threw the little potent schematic on here. Increases weak point damage to enemy ships. It's no longer just for the fleet thing, so or for the plague fleets. It hits everything. So I figure go ahead and get that. It ignores 10% of the toxic resistance that they may be running. Campaigny screens on here. Like I said, I just went ahead and threw it on there, reduced the incoming area of effect damage. I do have a tendency to draw in a lot of fire from the fort when I'm running this thing because it's hitting. I guess it's hitting so hard with the weapons on this thing, man. Does a pretty good job reducing incoming burning damage by 10%. That's usually what's happening is you're catching fire over on the fort, so that's why I threw that on there. They have armors and stuff that help too, but like I say, it's just really hard to beat the Ouroboros for me right now. The Curer Crushing Bench, boy, I tell you what, that is a tongue twister. Increases the charge rate of the poison status effect on the target by 8%. Increases the duration of the poison effect on enemy ships by 8%. It actually works really well. You start getting these poison weapons popping off out there, even in the forts and stuff. You see a lot of their braces starting to drop down and stuff. So pretty cool on that. So a lot of cool stuff. I've done a lot of builds with the rot mouth and things like that. I want to try something a little different. So this is just mixing it up a little bit, and definitely want to see what you guys think. Okay, let us throw it back into a war situation here. This still remains probably the best place to just do your overall farming. I definitely like what they've done with a few things since the update. I've noticed the cannon fire on a fully updated God rolled cannon. The dynamics of it, as far as like the actual theatrics of the way it shoots and stuff, is just crazy. And some of my favorite ships, this one here, did one of my frigate builds. I just love the way that the freaking cannons fire off. Little close for the mortar to fire. Guess I should maybe get out of everybody's way here. There we go. He drops quick. And then you have these nice long guns to help you out with the weak spots. That's pretty sweet. they hit for I think about 60,000, something like that. 36,000, I guess it is. My goodness. Let's see if I can skirt around this dude here. And maybe. Might be able to hit something now. It looks like they're hitting around 32,000, so. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, my Bombard 5s hit harder. That's one build I've been really enjoying is how that one there's hitting for 16,000 on that side. It's weird. It's different, I guess. I'll just shoot off this side. Actually, I think I may have actually rolled a siege perk on this corner of this long gun. I don't know. It's just hitting different number. Now it's hitting 61. I don't know. Maybe there's some kind of perk firing off. I don't even know anymore. I know it's a lot of fun using this boat. Sorry about that little sound glitch there. They still haven't fixed that yet. Now, one thing I have noticed is if you engage more of the ships, you know, fire at the fort obviously, but the more ships, if you destroy more ships, you seem to get better plate iron. I usually get around 2 or 3 actual plate iron sometimes when you run these. If you destroy enough ships. Wow, that weak spot didn't stick around long, did it? And that's why I run those campaigny screens right there. Fort goes so much quicker than it used to. I definitely like how they've changed it. Let's see what we got in our boxes over here. I do have a tendency to stack boxes sometimes too. That may affect what your drop rate is on some of this stuff. I don't know. Ooh. There's the Gear Valet. I'm pretty sure he pays pieces of 8 as well. check our boxes here, and then I'm gonna get back at it and let you guys get back to your games too. But yeah, there's still some cool stuff you can grind out, and I'm telling you, man, I'm liking the ability to roll these ascensions in hotter, and it seems like whenever you get those god rolls in, you get those nice dynamic type shots and stuff. So definitely interested to hear what you guys are coming up with on your builds. We'll catch y'all later. Oh, I guess I could open them boxes real quick. Let's do that. Like I said, I usually stack these to about 10 or something, then I open them. So we ended up with 5 deep iron. And then we got 5 more. Well, and then as far as these boxes, I just take and I'll open the silver. And for the sake of room, I just take it and stack those boxes. They'll stack in on the other boxes in there. And if I ever need a top deck weapon or whatever that's ascended, I have plenty of boxes to choose from. It's about trying to conserve parts. If you can stack the boxes, man, stack the boxes and just open that stuff as you need it. I carry a lot of those flares. We're supposed to be getting 100 slots on these ships at some point. That's what they had told us in one of the decks. So, been kind of keeping an eye out, not really hearing anything about any major announcements yet, but we still got a few weeks. Now, there was a few folks who told me how to get to this calendar here. You got to come over to the seasonal calendar from this menu here, and now we can actually see that. So I know last video I said I wasn't sure how to do that anymore. That is how you do that, guys. So yeah, we got the roving lost a couple more weeks here. Then Missouri's going to come back in. We're going to have this Glory Adorned. I think I may have that cosmetic set. I don't know. We'll find out. And we're going to have a guild mark boost here, it looks like, coming in December. And then that Azure Solstice starting on December 9th. So that'll be kind of cool. That'll run through Christmas on that. And it looks like we're coming into the second week of January. And that would be, my guess is the end of Season 3 for Year 2. Then we'll start up Season 4. The last that we heard on the deck is they had discussed that they may or may not release that Kraken. It just depends if it's supposed to be their crowning jewel of the actual monsters. So if they don't have it quite working right, they've discussed that it may not actually release at that time. So as far as what we would be seeing in a Season 4 for sure is definitely we'll be seeing the Corvette that we had looked at. The Corvette comes with a new Hunter's Dhow, which was originally supposed to introduce a Hunter's Guild, which is something I'm looking forward to, where you could go and hunt like legendary sharks or maybe whales or different things like that from the aspect of a Hunter's Guild type of deal, which would be pretty cool. So I'm definitely looking forward to that aspect of the game. Now, if I haven't heard whether or not that aspect was canceled, like I said, sounds like that was pretty solid, tied into the Corvette ship and having that Hunter's Dhow, and they definitely want to make sure that they release it in Season 4. So I'm guessing we're definitely going to get the Corvette, the Hunter's Dhow, and that Hunter's Guild. So that at least will be something really to look forward to. So, but yeah, guys, appreciate you watching the video. We'll catch you later.